Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, g'day grubs. Today's video is all about the SCAR-L. The SCAR-L is one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 5.56 ARs. That's right, the G36C, the M416, the SCAR-L, the QBZ95, the M16A4, the AUG, the FAMAS, and the G36C. I've already said that one once. Sorry, I counted up to 8. I was like very confused for a moment. And because it's one of many, it is actually always fighting for airspace or studio time or likes or swipes rights. It's tough because it's competing against other 5.56 ARs. And what the SCAR-L does is not so groundbreaking that you would drop it in preference to maybe a M762 or an AKM, because the SCAR-L is not the secondary weapon that you're looking for. I will sometimes use it as a secondary weapon. It's mostly pig-headedness because I don't want to be running the M416 all the time. So if I am forced to run a spray weapon and it's got to be a 5.56 AR, may as well be an AUG or a SCAR-L, because then at least I can say I'm not running the M416, which just goes to show you can be a child forever. Anyway, what's the real thing that this gun brings to the table? Well, it's got extra damage. There are a lot of 5.56 ARs, and they are all basically plus or minus a few percentage points in different areas. But the SCAR-L's big ticket item is that its base damage is higher than the other base damages of, say, the AUG, the M416, the G36C, the M16A4. They all don't have 42 base damage, which is what the SCAR-L has. The M416 has 40.9. Does this make a difference? Well, you'd be surprised to know it really does make a difference in certain situations. It might sound crazy to you, but if you're fighting a target with a level 2 vest, the SCAR-L does 25 base damage at 0 meters. So in close range, the SCAR-L is going to take 4 shots to clear a level 2 vest. An M416, well, that's going to take 5 shots if they're 100 health. Now, they're very, very specific situations. They're what we like to call break points in the YouTube game, because they're points of inflection. They're points where this is where you're getting value for money out of the weapon. Likewise, the base damage to a headshot is 66.5. 66.5 versus 65.8 on the M416. That's to a level 1 helmet. It's 94 versus 95 in pure actuality. So you're looking at a gun that is geared more towards CQC and close range. But here's the rub. The M416 doesn't really compete with the SCAR-L. The SCAR-L competes with AKs, UMPs, P90s, Grazers, anything that you're going to run in your front slot that allows you to fight in close quarters. It allows you to fight in the mid-range. And what the SCAR-L has over those guns, for the most part, is better bullet speed and better consistency and versatility out to 100 meters. What it doesn't have is an incredible spray profile. It's good, but it's not great. And in a game where there are so many fantastic options for a second slot weapon, that means it's some pretty hefty competition. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't love it. Now, I'm not one of them. I really, really enjoy this gun. And I have squad mates that I play with all the time who also really, really enjoy this gun. And it's not just about the performance. I love the way the SCAR-L looks in a red dot, with a red dot on it. I really, really love the way that looks. It's pretty cool. And I've got some lovely skins for the SCAR-L. And dare I say it, that does make a difference. I mean, there was a reason everyone runs the M416. Was originally, not only was it a wonderful gun, but it was the home of the Glacial M4 skin, which was the only on-kit effect that you could find in PUBG Mobile for quite a long time. And that meant that there was a slight competitive advantage of having that. Before we had hit markers, where if you were firing and you hit someone and a marker came up, if you were shooting at someone in smoke, you could see on-hit effects through the smoke and you could actually aim better. That's gone by the by now. And I mean, I choose weapons primarily based on how well they perform, but I do love the look of the SCAR-L's, you know, skin that I've got. You saw just there the SCAR-L's iron sight. That's one of the things I do not love the look of. For me, the periscope, it's up there with the worst iron sights in the game. And it's a funny thing that as good as the SCAR-L looks through a red dot, it looks every bit horrifically just as bad through the iron sights. And I can't be talked out of this. Some people love the periscope. I think the periscope looks absolutely atrocious. I think the only iron sight worse than the periscope is the FAMAS's, which is surprising. Why they made the FAMAS's iron sights, which were just fine, horrific when they put it in a crate. I mean, you go figure. It blocks nearly all of the target view. And for me, that's just not good. I want to be able to see the target really, really clearly. Now, spraying this thing with good consistency isn't hard. I mean, but I find that if I use a red dot and aim assist, it's just more effective. And it gets more hits. It also has a relatively slow rate of fire. If you're looking at a high rate of fire AR, the Graza, for instance, Graza, I always stuff up the pronunciation of that gun, is 779 rounds per minute. The SCAR-L's rounds per minute is 638. That's a big chunk under that. The FAMAS is a crazy 938 rounds per minute. Yes, I did have to just go look. That was why there was a pause in the video there. Now, the good thing about having a medium kind of rate of fire and having a little bit higher damage instead is that it allows you to make adjustments to your recoil more readily while you're using a red dot. When you're running a gun that's super high rate of fire, like an Uzi or a Vector or something, if you stuff up your spray or your ADS, the magazine's 3/4 empty by the time you adjust it. That's not the case with guns like the SCAR-L, and the AKM is another one of these great red dot CQC ADS guns that really benefits from having a slightly lower rate of fire. And you'll see in a lot of these clips, I'm running SCAR-L and a Car-9. Because if I'm running a Car-9, I generally want to run an AR like a SCAR-L or an M762 that is really, really solid in the mid-range as a great gun if you want to ADS. That's not so much the case when I'm running an M416. If I'm running an M416, I will very, very rarely use it in the CQC game. I find that the M4 is just not strong enough to do that. But the AUG, on the other hand, I do enjoy for that. So why would you run the SCAR-L over anything else? Well, consistency is great. And I do like to sometimes go for a season where I just run one gun. And the SCAR-L is a gun that you can really get to know. I also find it's excellent in tap fire. I will generally tap fire this before I will full auto spray it once I get out past 150 meters. I find I get better results with the tap fire than I do with just laying down the heat with the trigger. You may well find that's not the case for you, but that's cool. Everyone's floating their own boat, and it's different strokes for different folks. For me, I want a SCAR-L that's going to be really, really good to 50 meters, and then I'll just tap fire like that. Even with a 2X, I find it's really super effective to just let the tap, 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 or short bursts, and it will rinse people. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you're enjoying these regular updates on weapons. We might do some more tactical stuff in the very near future. I think it's about time. We haven't done a tactical video for the week. And we're doing another gameplay. There'll be a gameplay dropping tomorrow night, I think. Then we're going to stream again on Sunday, NA time, Monday morning, Asia server time. Stream is a regular thing. So if you're looking to join up to Patreon and play on the streams with me, it's Sunday night, NA time, Thursday night, NA time. And first Sunday of every month, there we are, tap firing again. First Sunday of every month on NA, we have the patron tournaments. So if you want to get involved, get stuck into that, don't be shy. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. As always, stay safe on the battlefield. And until next time, bye for now.